We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. Volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy and my brother from another mother.
It's good, bro.
Hey man, so we didn't get a chance to at least get on here after the Super Bowl, man. How was your Super Bowl get together, bro?
Well, it really wasn't a get together. Like I said, it was just Samaya and them came with the baby, whatever, like that. So no party, no. I just was cooking. I kind of asked all the kids what they wanted for the Super Bowl, and they all like hit me up with certain things. So I was just did all of that stuff. We just chilled out, had a good time. I mean, after the halftime show, the girls dispersed, and then it was just me watching the game by myself, pretty much.
So we had a crazy event, random thing. We sitting here having a good time watching the Super Bowl. And then one of the they had all the kids that was upstairs. One of the little boys said, "Hey, can Landon's mom come upstairs real quick because Landon's bleeding?" So we go upstairs. I'm like, I ain't going up there. Like I'm just like I knew that he was doing something that he have no business doing, and I ain't hear him yelling. So I figured that unless I hear a yell, that's it, though, man. Right? So I'm down there watching the Super Bowl. And Neat comes, she goes up there, check him on now. She comes back up there. They was like, yeah, you got to come up there and check your son out. I go up there. My dude toe is just bleeding all over the place, though, man. And so this is the crazy part. I said, bro, okay, let me ask you this, though, man. Because we had told them, like, listen, don't be playing basketball on the little hamper hoop style joint, the door joint, because they get OD with it. They trying to do dunk contests. They trying to dunk on each other, whatever. So I said, Landon, we told him that before that. I said, how exactly did this happen, right? Hey, how did your toe jacked? Because his toenail looked like it slid forward, right? So it looked like his toenail is just hanging, like a whole toenail bit. He said, he looked at me with a straight face and said, yeah, I just jumped in the air. And I said, wait a minute. So you mean tell me you just jumped as high as you can jump in one place, and you just busted your toe like that? Like you got my jeans, bro. So I know we athletic here, but you jumped in place there, and he was just like couldn't look me all the way after that though, and he still never told me exactly what it was, but I know my son, and I know exactly what he probably was doing. So his stuff is bleeding out and everything like that. And I feel bad because, it's like, I'm thinking like, all right, my dude got blood all on my people's carpet and stuff. So we fool around, man. And we wrap up the Super Bowl and everything, right? And I'm just sitting here thinking like, all right, he just gonna have to tough this one on now, just because at that point I was just like, bro, you was already doing the most. These are the consequences of you doing the most. So we fool around though, bro. And later on, probably about after we leave the Super Bowl, he's still kind of bleeding. We cleaned him on up as much as we could, patched him on up, but he's still going. We get home, right? And we was like, all right, you know what? Is this something that we can wait till the next day to go ahead and go to the doctor's office? And then we like, all right, it was still bleeding. We couldn't stop it. So we like, let's go to urgent care, right? Sunday, at that point, about 11 o'clock. Slide by the urgent care. Urgent care look open, but they closed. Fool around, and we was just like, all right, let's slide back to the crib. We go back to the crib, try to patch it up one more time, and then we just sit here like, should we go ahead and take him on in to the emergency room? Because I'm like, I ain't trying to foot this emergency room bill. And then we just finally decide, all right, 12 o'clock, we slide on up into the emergency room. We up in the emergency room till 3:30 though, bro, was when he slid out there. And they basically told us that, yeah, you know what, he kind of slightly dislocated his toe. And what's wild about it is that when we thought his toenail was just coming off, it was just that his cuticle around the toenail had slid up some. So they sitting here trying to massage it to kind of put it back and make sure that if it was dislocated, that it's back in place. But while they're doing that, they're trying to pull that skin back to where it's supposed to be, though, man. And so, it was just it was just for a toe, blood gushing everywhere, though, bro. It was just like it looked cool, but at the same time, it looked kind of nasty. My dude was toe was numb, so he didn't feel nothing by the time they gave him a couple shots in the toe. But we scrolled out of that thing at doggone 3:30 in the morning, though, bro. We was tired. The next day, though, bro, it seemed like we were still recovering from just that night, though. Like it felt almost like we might as well have been out to the club and came back to the house and trying to recoup from that next day, man. Brutal, bro. Yeah. Epic story, though, man. Epic
bro, that's quite the experience, man. What did you actually think about the Super Bowl in general?
Well, you know what? Let's get that music going and we can talk about that then.
All right.
It doesn't matter what your name is. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock.
It doesn't matter what your name is. Time.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. Be live on both platforms at the same time. You can click on the notification, kick the bell. That way you get the heads up whenever your boys and bitches doing their thing. Ace Kennedy, Super Bowl.
Try Jesus.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, listen, it went how I wished it had gone. Like I said, I had no dog in the race, no horse in the race. So it didn't really matter to me at the end of the day who would lose or win. But I think that the one thing that I did want to see was a very competitive game. I didn't want to see a blowout, but I also wanted to see a high-scoring game. So I said I wanted the game to be somewhere like 34-27, somewhere around there, high 30s. And so I was happy that the game was very much that, though, man. And like I said, I thought that everything was good. Like I thought that in terms of the quarterback play, that was to me the thing that I was looking for the most, because I wanted to see Jalen Hurts play as well as he could possibly play on the highest platform that's out there. But at the same time, I also wanted Pat Mahomes to play as good, because the last time he was in the Super Bowl, there were some doubts because he didn't have. I mean, it looks like a lot of his big moments were kind of accidental. Him throwing that deep bomb at the last time they were in the Super Bowl to Tyreek Hill. So I wanted to see, when both of the quarterbacks play at their absolute best, who would come out on top. Now, the thing that I think that was interesting to me, and this is where again I get mad about the Cowboys, but also the NFC East as well, right? Because Philly's defense have been wrecking shop most of the season, right? Mm-hmm. And then they get out here, and because they had sack, share, quarterback pressure, they were like one of the top 5 defenses, right? And one of the things that I'm mad about is that the thing that I'm mad about is that when they got out here and didn't look nothing at all like how they looked in the regular season, it told me, you know what, man, I was fooled by the Eagles defense, because for the same reasons why in the past I would always knock the Dallas Cowboys, because I'm like, are you playing in a sorry division and you're playing against other sorry teams? So you'll be able to rack up these stats in your division when your division is weaker. And I thought that, they had a better record division-wise, but I was just like, traditionally they beat up on each other and they're not that good. So when I saw the Eagles defense, very disappointed that when they got a chance to go against the real, they just looked like they couldn't, didn't look at all. And I thought about that. I was just like, okay, you know what? If the Eagles had really played against Brock Purdy, and you tell me that that's how their defense would have performed, I think that I would have picked the 49ers over that, though, man. So, like, at the end of the day, it's neither here nor there to me on who actually won. But I thought that I wanted a high-scoring game, but I also wanted to see everybody bring what they typically bring, though, man. So,
I like how aggressive the Eagles were.
I like how aggressive they were.
Yeah, I think that the game was dope. I think that the way they played it was like whoever got the ball last, that's who's gonna win. I think the turning point of the game isn't the last play that everybody wants to act like was the determining factor of the game. The turning point of the game is the interception. And the thing is that if you take that penalty away, Kansas City
the fumble?
Yeah, whatever it was,
Right.
For the Eagles. But I'm saying, regardless, you take away that penalty at the end of the game, Kansas City was still making that field goal. Like, that to me wasn't the thing that sealed it. Like, it's different.
I agree.
It's different from when the Bengals, right, were playing Kansas City and our Texas boy hit Mahomes out of bounds. That's a completely different play.
True. Yeah, I do think this is the thing I think that was interesting. All right. So people always talk about, okay, I want to talk about, because I see Justin, I appreciate you for jumping in, talking about the field conditions. And both they played on the same field, right? So I'm not going to even use that part. It wasn't like a one-sided field, like one part of the field. And from what I've understood, they've been working on this field for like 2 years or something crazy like that. But
yeah, they paid $800,000.
$800,000 on that particular field. But I think that I do like that at the end of the day. What I like is two things, right? I like that Pat Mahomes won the Super Bowl and did so without his biggest weapon. So that means that he won it as an MVP, but it looked differently, right? Like, I think that he had to not as many deep plays because you didn't have that Tyreek Hill to take the top off, right? I do think though that the kid Tony, who they picked up from the Giants, I think that he would look somewhat like Tyreek and be able to do that with more game and everything like that, chemistry. I think that he would be able to make them explosive plays, but I at least appreciated that he was like, all right, you know what, I don't got Tyreek to take the chance and throw it over the top, so let me just take it and beat you by taking what you give me. So however you play, Ms. Hamadi, either way, the stats is gonna get there. So I appreciated that, though, man. And then, like I said, I appreciated that Jalen Hurts. To me, it made me want to root for him individually that much harder, though, bro. Like, I became an even bigger Jalen Hurts fan, though, bro. Like,
I thought so. I originally said when the Super Bowl was coming that I didn't care who won because I like both teams. I had no dog in the fight. But the more and more as I started watching the game, it was like, it would be cool if Jalen got it just because of, Alabama letting him go. He went to Oklahoma, gets the Heisman, and makes it to the Super Bowl. I thought that would have been dope. But I mean, like I said, and of course I got family members that are Eagles fans, so that would have been cool too for them. But ultimately, it didn't bother me. There was a kid from Shawnee, Oklahoma, that played. He was he plays for Kansas City Chiefs. His last name is Creed.
Let me ask you this: Super Bowl commercial.
First name is Creed. My bad. First name is Creed.
I didn't actually get a chance to because so let me tell you this. This is more so my adventures of that particular day. So I had a basketball game earlier that day, just before the game. So the game starts at 6:30. I have a basketball game at 6:00, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought I just want to get there before halftime. So I actually get to the crib and I do my game. We end up losing, unfortunately. Lose a game, have to come back home like probably 45 minutes away, take a shower, swap out clothes. Now, luckily, my man's Courtney crib is just probably 5 minutes around the corner from me, though. So I missed like the whole entire first quarter. I came in like halfway through the second quarter, but I didn't see like I wanted to ask you, you're a big Super Bowl commercial fan. Which one stood out to you this year?
I mean, obviously, it's the Tubi took it,
The
and it
Tubi
ain't
took it.
yeah Tubi, and it's not even just because of the Tubi trick. Tubi had another commercial, bro. It was the rabbit hole commercial. That joint was trippy. Like you
I didn't
just
see that.
bro. So randomly, these white rabbits was going and snatching up people, bro, and you ain't know what it was about. And so I'm thinking, like, okay, something about going down the rabbit hole. That's what I was thinking. Like maybe like I thought it was a TikTok commercial because most people, be scrolling. Then Amazon had a dope one where this dog, like it must have been, it seemed like it was like during the pandemic or something. The family was always home, and then of course the world started opening up, so they start going to work. Well, he was rebelling, so he started like tearing up stuff in the house, tearing up the stuff in the house. So it showed them ordering his kennel, like looked like they was gonna either get rid of him or he was gonna have to stay in the kennel all day. And then they ended up buying 2 kennels and brought another dog home. Real cool, real cool. So I enjoyed the commercials. I know Diddy had a commercial. So I had a good time. A lot of people hated the commercials, but the Tubi took it, bro.
Yeah, the Tubi. I'm watching the Tubi commercial, bro. And when it happened, I'm sitting here. I'm like, yo, Courtney, you sitting on the remote, bro. Like you gotta get up, though, man. He was like, nah, bro, I'm not sitting on the remote. And this is the bad part. I see the remote right next to him, but I still was thinking, like, yo, most people got like 2 and 3 remotes. Like, you got one remote that comes with the TV, and then you got the other one that comes with the cable box, and you can pair them into a universal. But most people got to come like, yo, you're sitting on the other remote. And he was like, nah, bro. And then when we see it, we bust out laughing, though, bro.
Sarah was like, Sarah said, what's happening? I said, I don't know.
It was great. It was probably one of the best gotchas that I think I've had experience in quite some time, where it had me fooled completely, though, bro.
Bro, listen, Tubi deserves an award for that because there wasn't really a lot of competition. I think this year it wasn't so much about the commercials as it was for the movie trailers, because a lot of the movie trailers came out. You had the Fast 10 commercial.
It's crazy. I still didn't even see the Fast 10 trailer.
It's dope. I mean, it's got Jason Momoa in it. They got that commercial. Then the 65 movie with Adam Driver. It looks like a prehistoric futuristic movie.
Is that based off a video game?
I've never heard of it before.
Okay.
No, but they got that. Of course, the Flash commercial, which I had to go watch the full trailer for that. That was dope. Guardians of the Galaxy. They finally showed. I'm trying to think of what trailer they showed that they've been talking about. I can't even think of it. But yeah, there was a bunch of movie trailers that came out that it was like, yeah, this is where it's at. So, but no, my whole experience was dope. What did you think of the halftime show? Because there's obviously been a bunch of controversy for that.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was thinking Diddy was winning 2023. He went out with 2022 winning, and then I said, you know what, ASAP Rocky got to be winning 2023 already. The fact that, like the big reveal was Rihanna being pregnant, and listen, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I mean, unless you're a real, and I consider myself a very big hip hop head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I associate ASAP Rocky with are the visuals for his music, not even as much as it. He makes incredible visuals, right? But I don't know a single person that can name you more than 5 ASAP Rocky songs. Most people can't name 3 that I know, right? And I know I'm talking about people who listen to hip hop music regularly, though, right? So at the end of the day, I appreciated Rihanna's Super Bowl, but I had to take my cap off literally to ASAP Rocky, because I'm like, bro, you single-handedly then won 2023, because like, you think about it, I think that ASAP Rocky's net worth probably somewhere around $10-15 million. And you got Rihanna. Everybody puts her on this pedestal as Rihanna, especially with her being the billionaire. So from someone on the outside, it looks like he dated up, right? So I give him props for that, though. But in terms of the actual show, What I think is interesting, right, is that Neek has gone to see Rihanna perform, and she was like, "Listen, I don't know what people are expecting. Like, that's basically what she would be doing if she wasn't pregnant. Like, her shows are basically just like that. It's not that different." And he was like, "It's not at all like." Naturally Beyonce, because she was I've gone to a Beyonce concert and I thought that it was incredible. It's one of the it was by far the best, one of the top 5 things that I can say that I've done in terms of going to see an event. But she was like, nah, I've seen them both a couple of times, and I can tell you that this is very consistent with what I've seen her do. And so that's cool. And I wasn't expecting anything more after. And we were trying to see, like, is she pregnant, or is that just a little bit of is that some fupa from carrying over, right? And so we was after a while we was looking in and we were like, oh yeah, that's some tummy there, bro.
Well,
that ain't fupa.
Here's the spin, and it took me a while. I had actually saw somebody on Twitter explaining it, because I watched it from 2 different angles. For one, it said Rihanna and special guest, right?
Right.
Well, the special guest was the baby.
Right.
And I'm sitting up here waiting for the feature artist to come out.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting up here looking the whole time like, okay, the band's coming out the ground, so somebody about to come out and start doing something. Or, oh, this is Kanye's verse here. Is she going to bring Ye out? Like, what? But I didn't have any expectation. You go back, check the tape. I said I had no expectations for the Super Bowl halftime show, because I didn't I just wanted to see what she was gonna do.
It would have been fire if she would have brought Kanye out there to do the songs that she had.
I'm glad
Shine
she
Bright.
did.
If she would have did Diamonds with Kanye, and if she would have did Run This Town, if she would have brought Jay-Z out there, I thought that would have been incredible.
You can't bring Ye out with all the controversy surrounding him right now. You can't do it. The Super
I think
Bowl
it's more the reason why you do it.
Nah, the National Football League was not fixing to approve that, bro. It wasn't gonna happen. Look, here's the thing. I guess at this point, hindsight is 2020. Like, it wouldn't have made a bit of a difference because people are complaining about it anyway. Right. I had no issue with it. I thought it was super dope that for her to be pregnant and for them to use those platforms and stuff. I'm thinking about it from the standpoint of the people that are actually there at the arena. That had to be dope, a dope spectacle.
It had to be, yeah.
But even the camera angles and stuff that they use, it still was pleasing to the eye for the viewers at home. I enjoyed the performance, but I got to watch it through a different lens because I'm there with a whole bunch of women, and all of them were singing every word. Like, my 15-year-old daughter is like going in, my 19-year-old daughter going in, my 30-something-year-old wife going in, Charlie going in. So it's just like all of them was like hitting that Riri wave in different spots. And so it just made it much more of an enjoyable experience for me. So, like I said, my whole Super Bowl experience was dope, bro. Like, I have no complaints.
On another note, does this confirm no Rihanna music for this year at least?
She addressed it. No. She addressed it. She said it would be stupid for her not to drop any music this year. She has new music. She just said it's gonna be she's gonna have fun with it. It's gonna be experimental stuff. Like, she's gonna do different stuff. But she was like, it would be stupid for her not to drop music this year. Like, it wouldn't make sense. That's what what if Rihanna comes out with some of that? Well, I guess she's done it before, but what if she comes out with that Beyonce world music beat stuff? She's did it before with that Yellow Diamonds. It wouldn't bother me as much because she's like from a different country. So to me, it wouldn't feel like
she's done that before, though. Right.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't seem out of the ordinary, but I think her music's going to be is going to be different even then from that. I don't know. I'm just like, I loved what we got from the Black Panther 2 soundtrack. It was like definitely one of the highlight songs from the movie and from the soundtrack. So I'm here for it. I mean, if she you figure she looks about maybe 3 months or so. I don't know.
But I think that looked like to me, I thought that was about 6. That was round, bro.
Yeah, but still kind of just a little bump though. Like, because if we're sitting up here saying whether is this a little baby fat from last time or this a baby bump, I don't know about that. But either way, let's just say she drops in the fourth quarter though. That's still 2023.
So you think she drops the music, bounce back, start doing videos for it at the top of 2024, like it's like the baby never happened?
No, I'm what I'm saying is she's probably recording as we speak, right? I'm
True.
just saying I don't think she'll have the baby, have some downtime, 2 months, whatever. I think fourth quarter she can drop the music and then, like you said, carry on into 24 to like maybe start a tour or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and
It'd be
she could shoot a documentary, coincided with her doing music in the studio and her pregnancy. Like it would be, people would watch it.
Let me ask you this though: in the aftermath of the Super Bowl, I wanted to get your opinion on this one. So, one of the big things that came out today, Eric Bieniemy accepts the job. Who's Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator, right, for the Kansas City Chiefs, won the Super Bowl. Second time he's done that, and now he's accepted the job as offensive coordinator. What appears to be a lateral movement for the Washington Commanders. Okay. On top of that, the losing offensive coordinator and defensive coordinators respectively accepted jobs for different franchises. I think one of them went to the Colts, one of them went to like the Cardinals or something like that. I wanted to get your take on that.
I think that maybe the Washington move probably has something in the contract like, yo, this is a transition for you to assume the role. Like maybe they know that what's his name ain't gonna be around much longer, and that's gonna be the promotion for him to take over a head coaching position. As far as the Eagles, that's tough. They just probably got paid more money, to be honest, or the opportunity to have your own team, because those weren't lateral moves. So how many times do you get that offer to become a head coach? You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is one of the things that I think that kind of surprised me the most is because I think that it's interesting because you can go down the line over the last, let's just say we can make the list short since Eric Bieniemy has been the offensive coordinator, right? So let's say the last 6 years, right? You can go down the list and think of all the guys because the knock that they've been saying was that Andy Reid is calling the plays, and while Eric Bieniemy is the coordinator, he is calling the plays that Andy Reid created, or that he's calling some, but not all of them, right? And so the idea was that, Andy Reid was kind of overshadowing his true impact to the team and also Pat Mahomes' greatness. And so what's been crazy about that to me is that despite that being the case, so there's been several other coaches under that Andy Reid tree who offensively, Doug Peterson, your old coach for the Bears, Matt Nagy, came from that Andy Reid tree, and they didn't call the plays. Mm-hmm. So I do think that it's kind of interesting that Eric Bieniemy is getting the knock on him is that he's not calling the plays, and that's what's preventing him, right? That okay, go to another team, and we know for sure that you're the play caller. That's the thing I think that blows me away the most, because you would like to think, okay, well, why not just sit here and just keep winning championships until somebody gives you that look? But I do think that I always look at it like this, right? So I think that the NFL, when it comes to NFL coaches, head coaches, and they always talk about the lack of diversity. I think that one of the things that even if you want to look at a niche within that lack of diversity, probably the biggest lack of diversity is Black offensive coordinators, right? Because there's only like three, right? There was Eric Bieniemy. There's now I think the Panthers or somebody like that. Somebody hired he was an assistant coach over with the Rams. Now he's an offensive coordinator. No. The Niners, it's a whole different story. We'll talk about that. But no, they hired this brother the young cat from the Rams, and I think he's gone over to join Frank Reich's group over there as an offensive coordinator. But I think that what's crazy about it, though, man, is that the thing that I'm always tripped out on is that you'll see like different offensive coordinators that just get automatically washed through the cycle. Like you look at it, the Green Bay coordinator who went out to the Broncos, got fired, right? He was the offensive coordinator at Green Bay because he was cool with Aaron Rodgers. The Broncos go and sign him. They fire him as a head coach, and he immediately gets another OC job with the Jets, right? And so, and meanwhile, you got Byron Leftwich, who won a Super Bowl, and now Tom Brady had a down year, and they fire him basically, and they're talking about him possibly having to go to. He was talking about going to Notre Dame as an offensive coordinator, and I actually saw that Notre Dame had actually hired somebody else as their offensive coordinator. But I say that because now it's almost like you have this very niche. It's like black coaches is one thing, but I think that black offensive coordinators, now usually black defensive coordinators usually get that look, right? So the history of it is, Lovie Smith, right? You had what's my boy? Jim Caldwell, right? You had Leslie Frazier. All these defensive-minded coaches get those jobs, but it's almost like the NFL just don't seem to trust an offensive coordinator that's black, though, bro. But they'll give and they'll take a chance on white OCs before they do a brother, though, bro. So I thought that was one of the things that I was more so surprised that as if him winning a Super Bowl as the OC wasn't enough, that he specifically has to call plays when that wasn't a requirement for everybody else who got the job. So, bro, that's Jack.
Yeah. What else? There was something else that happened. Oh, Damar Hamlin had a bunch of controversy for the coat that he wore to the game.
That's not that wasn't that big of a deal to me. I thought that it was overdone, to be quite honest.
Yeah, they were analyzing a lot, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you were nitpick, and not just that. The thing that got me the most was I saw that Adrian Peterson was one of the people who pointed something out, and I'm thinking, like, really,
but with to shoot Adrian Peterson some bail, he outlined everything in that comment. He ain't just come for Damar Hamlin without acknowledging his own stuff. He called his own self out in it. And then he also went and said, look, I doubled back and had the conversation with the young brother. We had a dope conversation, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So I at least shoot him some bail on that he was transparent with, like, look, I'm the last one to try to call somebody out. I'm just telling you about how I feel about it. And we had a conversation, and here's kind of what we talked about. And salute to that young brother, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I will say that.
You listen, man. I'm over the wussification of this generation. The thing that makes me the most disappointing about that is that Adrian Peterson is about our age, and I just thought that people of our age, like things like that, aren't that big of a deal to us. Like that seems very like a millennial kind of thing, though, bro. So it wasn't nothing.
Because honestly,
he didn't have to apologize to me.
For real, because here's the thing. I ain't even know what was on the jacket until they brought it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I saw the jacket, but I was more so celebrating the fact that man was at the Super Bowl. He was there with the people that helped save his life. I wasn't concerned about what he had on. I just thought the jacket was dope. The colors was dope, and that was it. Didn't really pay much more attention to it than that.
I don't think he did either, bro. It was not that big of a deal, man. Like I understand that you apologize because in the spotlight, that seemed like the thing that you do, right? Especially with the kind of attention that you're getting at the moment. But I don't think that it's even necessary, bro. Don't think it's necessary at all.
Yeah. Other than that, man, I thought the Super Bowl. Cannot go without talking about the boy Chris Stapleton, bro. His national anthem. You didn't get the chance to watch it.
I didn't. I went back though and I watched it. I went and watched it on YouTube though. Incredible.
And for Chris,
listen,
that's dope, bro.
Listen. We're about to start claiming him, bro. We're about to start claiming him as one of our own, bro. Like we might have to make some trades though, bro. There are some people that I think that we might be willing to trade for Chris Stapleton, bro.
I hear you. He is definitely in the conversation like Justin Timberlake. Like we accept him. It's the same treatment.
Justin Timberlake, Chris Stapleton, they are right there. But for some reason, I think that it's like a lot of to me, the black community who's into all music, more variety of music, no, right? But I
Yeah.
love that, you know what I'm saying? The casual music fan was introduced to him. It was the first time a lot of them saw him, though, bro. And I'm just sitting here like I've always been a big fan of his, though, man. I'm thinking like, wait a minute, we might have to, if they had the Dave Chappelle race draft, listen, we might be offering some trades for him, though, man. Listen, man, we can.
That boy stock high. We'd have to give up a lot.
His stock is high right now, though, bro. We might do a 2-for-1 trade on Chris Stapleton, though, bro. But it was incredible, man.
Bro,
listen, last thing before we get out of
ahead.
here on this, I think that one of the things that people seem to have an issue with, and this is I do find this very interesting because we're gonna talk about the Grammys, because people made it seem like this was the blackest Super Bowl in quite some time. They had Babyface come out there and sing "America the Beautiful." They had the black national.
What's up, Cheryl's last name?
I can't. We right. We talking about the same person, but this is my question for you. Okay, so people always say, well, there's one America, there's one national anthem, right? Is it necessary to play the Negro national anthem? And my question, I want to ask you that, right?
Yeah.
If you are in the room with Jay-Z now, right, and that's suggested, is that something that you think is necessary?
Yes. Here's why.
Okay.
It's Black History Month, right?
Okay.
You have to give the recognition. It's the same way when you go to a basketball game, right? And whenever Toronto is playing in any city, they do the American national anthem and they do the Canada. So the thing is that with this being a national spotlight and this being Black History Month, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Now, I will say, I understand. Like, I think next year we need to switch it up. We had 2 years where we had two of the biggest halftime shows for Black entertainers. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind either seeing like maybe they do a nostalgic boy band reunion where they got NSYNC, 98 Degrees, New Kids on the Block, Old Town, like all of them do something like that. I think.
Damn, I forgot about Old Town, bro.
So Backstreet Boys do something like that.
Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, all of them. Either do something.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Or Taylor Swift. Do something with a bigger white artist, because I know Jay-Z is heavily involved, but we had all the rappers from in LA.
Yeah,
we had Riri this time. So I do think that we have to be diversified in that as well.
So some rock music is due.
Something like that. Yeah. I think you have to.
I got it. More than that, you know what I would love to see, bro?
What's that?
I would love to see a 90s rock band show where you got Green Day, you got Limp Bizkit perform, you have Systems of a Down perform. I was sitting here going back, and the other day I was actually working and I was listening to a lot of the rock music that came out from when we were in high school, bro, from like 94 to 98 and then up to 2000 though, bro. And I was just like, Don, listen, I don't, maybe I just haven't been listening to like rock like that, but that garage band style rock was incredible back then though, man. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, man! I felt so nostalgic, and I just thought that would be that would be an incredible set, though, bro.
Yeah, I will say
up there, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
No, but the memes for the Super Bowl halftime show were incredible, bro. They was on it, bro. Because so we play video games. So there's a game, Super Smash Brothers, right? Yeah, and they had all the little level things that they was they was killing the memes, bro. The internet is undefeated.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yo, so good news. You know my boy Russell Westbrook finally got traded from the Lakers.
Yeah.
And so the latest that I saw that the Clippers are in conversation with Russ. So it looks like they said they still missing some PG play that they looking at. There's a couple of free agents out there, but I like the fact that so it's like 3 teams in the running. Miami was thinking about it. Chicago is heavily rumored because they said that boy Billy Donovan called him personally. And then, of course, the Clippers, which he wouldn't have to move anything. So I'm happy for the boy Russ. I just can't wait to see where he decides to go.
Makes sense to me that he just stay in LA and play with the Clippers, right? He ain't got to move no furniture. He ain't got to do nothing. And listen, I got to be honest. I would figure that ain't nothing like sleeping in your own bed before a game. But here's the thing: I think that is crazy to me that I noticed out of that. Right? I saw a report that he actually was looking. I saw something that said that he was looking to meet with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, right? And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, well, what the hell are they gonna do? Like, listen, Paul George had his best season statistically, and he was like an MVP candidate when he Russ, right? And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think that they said something early on that when Russ was kind of a free agent, that he had reached out to Kawhi, and Kawhi didn't respond back. Like he was like, we good. I'm cool with just PG. I think that it is just kind of an interesting thing, though, that now the same way how he met with AD and LeBron, right? That you got to meet with the star players and get their approval first, and that's how you get the buy-in. Like, come on, man. Like these
but here's the thing, though. Let me shoot Russ and Bell, because you know I ain't gonna have no Russ slander. The first report that I saw is PG was the one that was heavily recruiting Russ to come to the Clippers, because the original report before the trade deadline, before the moves and stuff, Kawhi said that he wanted another point guard. And then when they started making all them roster moves, Reggie Jackson gone, they got rid of John Wall. It looked like they was opening that thing up to get some to a PG.
Listen, man. Listen, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm trying to play against y'all, right? If I'm Reggie Jackson, right? If I'm Reggie Jackson, because I think that Reggie Jackson ended up playing, he wound up going to the Nuggets.
Oh, to the Nuggets.
He went to the Nuggets. Yeah, I think he went to the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I think that what's crazy to me, right, is this. If I'm Reggie Jackson and I'm on your team, and y'all are telling me I'm a point guard, and y'all are telling me, I'm trying to get Russ because we need some better point guard play. Like what? Like you go slight me right in front of me like that? Nah, if I'm him, I want to go into the West because now I'm gonna show y'all what that smoke is about. And I think that the funny thing about it is I think that Reggie Jackson has, I think, historically played very well against his old teams, though, bro. So I expect that he's gonna try to go out there and kill mode, though, bro.
Did you hear what Bones Highland said, bro?
No.
That boy was like, look, he said, I'm leaving a team that only had 1 star, and I'm about to go in here and play with 2.
Well, I was saying, though, I thought Jamal Murray was a star. Like, I thought Jamal Murray was dope. What are you talking about?
Apparently he didn't, bro, because that boy said Yoke was the only one over there.
Aaron Gordon is I think Aaron Gordon's like, listen, man.
Bro, I'm telling you what the boy Bones said, bro. He said he was leaving a team that had 1 star to go over there that's got a team.
No way. Like, listen, if anything, though, bro, here's what I think. I told you, I think that from my perspective, I think that the Nuggets, I know that they have the better record, but they seem to me to be the song that's more the team that's more equipped to have my formula for winning in the playoffs, where you have the 30-20-20s. I think that their guys, I would trust that those guys would consistently put up those points than what I would expect for the Clippers, because I mean, with all things considered, I think that the Clippers would have somebody that'll go 30 and 20 between Paul George and Kawhi. But I think that one player who I think has a third player that averaged 20 would likely be your boy Norman Powell, but he averages 18. So unless he steps up his average, though, man, they might have to try to get that 20 points, that extra by committee. And I just don't think that that's sustainable from my perspective, though.
Yeah. I will say, bro, I did like what the Thunder did, even though their move was very subtle. It wasn't like a game changer in the eyes of somebody else, but you can tell that the boy Sam is aware of what's going on. He knew we needed a big man, so we ended up getting Dario Saric, which he came from the Suns. Kind of looks like a real thin Steven Adams. It's funny because he even said I might have to shave because I look too much like Steven Adams. But he played in his first game the other day, bro. Looked dope. Like the boy presence was there. The boy can knock down the three. He already got a little chemistry with the team, bro. It was a dope move for the Thunder. We got rid of the boy, baby Westbrook. What is his name? 55. Oh, New Balance. Man, what is his name?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't think of my boy's name. I no disrespect to him. Anyway, we traded him off. We traded Mike Muscala off to Boston. He's doing his thing over there. So I'm real happy with the Thunder's move. But out of all the trades, bro, who do you think? What you think about the Lakers trades? I mean, now that they got their little team together, what you think?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that it makes them look better. Like I say that to say that to me, it's this. With all due respect to Russ, right? I think that it wasn't just getting rid of Russ, right? They addressed their issues, right? They addressed their 3-point shooting. They addressed some of their defensive issues. So I'm curious to see how they look over the next 20 games or so, right? But I do think that it's interesting because here's the one thing I look at. I personally love Russ's play. But even with Russ coming off the bench, he still was leading the league in turnovers, right? So I do want to see what the Lakers look like minus those turnovers. If you're saying you don't want to take Russ's contributions with the points and the energy because you don't want those turnovers to go along with it, then I want to see now that you don't have that Russ problem, what y'all actually look like. So I think that I think that the Lakers made out okay. I think that they got some good solid pieces. And to be honest, there was a point where the Lakers were playing a bunch of guys that I had never even heard of, though. I was surprised, though, that they traded Thomas Bryant. And I think that part of that was that they did him a favor. Like Thomas Bryant was about to become a free agent at the end of this season. And he turned up when AD was out. This dude came in and he averaged about 17, 18 points a game, right? And then once AD came back, of course, his minutes got dropped, and he was like, "Yo, I was shining. I'm trying to get a little bag," and that was the reason why they actually traded him to the Nuggets as their backup center. And so I think it's a good look for. It was like a win-win, though, man. So I think that you spread the floor out, and I think that you get minutes to people who are more veterans, basically. And I think that that's playoff winning basketball, though.
Darius Baisley was the name of who traded. So yeah, it was no disrespect. It just didn't come to me. But okay, of course, the other thing before we get to the other big trade. So Kyrie, when he first went to Dallas, everything was going good. Of course, what's his name wasn't playing, but now that he's been back, they kind of been on a losing streak. And then of course he sat out this last game with some back tightness. So do you think it's still too early to say what this is going to look like, or
very early?
Okay,
very early. And listen, here is where my head goes, right? Mm-hmm. So when you think about, well, what's the expectation? Like, is the expectation that they win, that they get to the conference finals, right? So then it goes back to my formula, right? So my formula, Luka can average 30, Kyrie can average 20, right? But then you got two guys that need the ball to do that, right? So then my thing is that, all right, you need another 20-point guy, and Christian Woods averages like 18, but he don't get that look. Like I've seen him light it up, but it was usually when Luka was hurt, Christian Woods turn up, right? So I'm just like, based off of how how Luka plays, is that enough to get everybody else better shots? Like, I think that Luka gets him the ball, but when I've watched the games, it's catch and shoot. It's very reminiscent of James Harden, right? Where James Harden will get you the ball, but if you're a shot creator as well, or you could do something off the dribble, he's kicking it over to you with 6-7 seconds left in the shot clock, and it's not early enough on. So I just even still wonder with the makeup of their guys, right? If that's enough to excel the other guys, to boost the other guys. Because I'm not worried about Luka and Kyrie. I'm worried about how their play is going to impact the other guys' impact. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Luka will average 30 and Kyrie will average somewhere around 26 in the playoffs. But how much is Christian Woods going to average? If you tell me that in the playoff that Christian Woods is going to average 20 points all throughout the playoffs, so that means that he's going to have to get 5 more shots a game than what he's getting in the regular season, then I would think, okay, yeah, they got a chance to. I think that they would have a chance to even beat the Suns, right, or the Nuggets or whoever. But if Christian Woods is averaging the same 18 points, I don't think that it's going to make a difference.
Okay, let me ask you another question. We done seen Luka paired up with a bunch of different people. Is he finally on the clock, bro?
I don't think so just yet. And this is the thing about it. The reason why I say that is that even though Luka was paired up with a bunch of folks, I don't think that he was paired up with the superstar. At least I don't think so. He was paired up with Porzingis.
Unicorn. Yep.
I didn't think that Porzingis was that. I thought, here's what I think. I thought Porzingis was a good number 3 guy, right? And or a guy who could average 20 plus a game, but if it's a no pressure team. So he's out there doing his thing. He's low-key averaging about 24 points a game out there for the Wizards, but he's the second guy, probably sometimes the third guy, right? But he'll give you 24, and then the next day he'll give you 12 points. So I never thought that he was the guy that they could just rely on to consistently give you them all-star type numbers that he gave you before.
What about Brunson?
I thought that Brunson was gonna be this Brunson, but he couldn't be this Brunson playing with Luka.
Yeah,
I just think that here's the thing about it. I just think that if you're saying that this young Luka who needs the ball a lot to be this Luka, I just don't know what other superstar that you can take the ball out of his hand. Maybe Kyrie's that guy, but you can take the ball out of his hands and then say, okay, you know what? Well, you facilitate, you be that dude. Maybe Kyrie is the solution, but I just don't know if it doesn't work with Kyrie. Then I think the clock is on Luka, bro.
I personally would have liked. I think a better trade for Dallas would have been for, and of course he wasn't trying to go nowhere, but Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
The type of player that Luka is what I'm saying.
Yeah, listen, I think Bradley Beal can give you 30 on any team. It don't matter how your makeup is. I think that Bradley Beal rolls out of bed and is at least 26 points a game, rolling out of the bed. I don't necessarily know if that's winning basketball, 26 points, but he going to give you the 26 points. So it don't matter. 30 in the playoffs, very easy. I agree. But it's just like yeah.
Now, just the last trade I wanted to talk about, obviously, is the Phoenix trade. Kevin Durant to Phoenix. What we thinking? Does this immediately go ahead?
It should pay immediate dividends, bro. Immediate dividends. Now, the only issue that I have is that you give up your defense, right? But I think that when you look over and you see the kind of firepower that's out there in the West, right? It's like, all right, you got Kawhi PG, right? That's out there. You got Luka. You're gonna have to be able. I just don't know that Phoenix, as they were previously constructed, could put up enough points to beat the other guys, though, right? So I think that it's a good look for them, though, man. But listen, there's a different kind of clock on KD as well, so he ain't absolved for being on the watch list.
Is there anybody in the East that makes you nervous for the West?
For the East, yeah. I think that the East, the teams are way better. Like I think that listen, I think that if the Bucks get there, and provided that Chris Middleton is 100% healthy by then, I don't really see any team in the West that I would pick over the Bucks. And for that matter, I don't see any team in the West that I would necessarily pick over the Celtics. The only team that I would say that's a high contending team in the East that I would say if they got there that I would pick a team in the West over them would be Philly though, bro. And it's only because like I gotta see James Harden on that stage again, and so the last time I saw him on that level wasn't so great. So yeah, Philly's the only team that I think that the West Coast teams, if they met in the finals, could actually that they could actually beat though. Yeah.
Last basketball question for me. You excited about All-Star Weekend?
Not exactly. I not really. I do want to watch the 3-point contest, but you know what I think is crazy though, man. People have been talking about the dunk contest, and they talk about all the dunk contest has been whack. Listen, I'm gonna defend the dunk contest from this perspective. Okay, so in the dunk contest is Mac McClung, who's on a 2-way contract with the Sixers, right? You got Trey Alexander from the Pelicans. You got Jericho Sims, right, who played at Texas. And I can't remember the fourth guy. But listen, Jericho Sims, you would be hard pressed to find a player in the NBA that jumps higher than him. Jericho Sims is about 6'9", though, bro, and he may have like a 50-something inch vertical. Like he literally is looking down at the rim when he jumps. But with that being said, though, bro, I think that people have been spoiled over dunks, right? Because people think that when Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine did all those dunks and they was spectacular and they were just doing them on the first try and they was making them. I think that they've made the dunks look so easy that people just completely forget how hard it actually is. Like people miss dunks in the game, right? During regular games. So to put me on a platform and say, I'm going to try to do something that nobody's ever seen before, I think that I think that people diminish how hard it is to dunk and not just that, to do something that nobody's ever seen before, though. We've seen a lot of dunks.
I have to disagree with you. This is what I think. I think they need to bring some of them street dunkers and go against them NBA dunkers, bro. They need to put them in with it. They need to get 4 of them street dunkers and 4 of the NBA dunkers, because they had that show where it's like Shaq, I think,
Kenny Smith.
Yeah, that dunk show was incredible. So, and those are some dunks that we ain't never seen before. It's the dunk contest. So
that's true. But the difference is, though, right, is that those guys are professional dunkers. All they do is dunk. So you can't have a guy who only trains the dunk versus somebody who trains to be an NBA shooter.
Right, but you're doing a dunk contest, though, bro. So what I'm saying, all I'm saying is you're trying to inject a new sense of energy into the competition. That's going to make the NBA dunkers step their game up.
I'm going to tell you what would do it, to be honest with you. I would say that if you made the dunk contest have to include 2 participants that are all-stars. So Paul George got to get in the dunk contest. Zion got to get in the dunk contest. Or Ja Morant got to get in the dunk contest has to include 2 current all-stars. That's what I think the difference is. Because here's the thing, though, man. Like, I don't think even when Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine, when they're in their dunk contest, right, and even some of the other people that were borderline, the Jason Richardson dunk contest, right, those are guys who I thought were fairly known guys, and they were borderline just on the cusp of possibly being all-stars. But I think that when you get a bunch of first-year, second-year guys that nobody's ever heard of, right, guys that have been in the league for just 3 years, they have good in-game dunks. I just don't think that you have the superstar level player in it. So I think that you think about it. You put Zion and you put Ja Morant in this same dunk contest. It elevates the stature of the game. It elevates everything.
It does. But I think that also gives people a name. The year that we had Hamadou Diallo, right?
Yeah.
From the Thunder, that put his name on the map. And I get what you're saying. The instant glory from having a name like that in it. So then I would then say, do what you're saying on that. But then on the time when they do the celebrity game, then bring them street dunkers in to do a dunk contest.
I think that you do, but then their dunk contest would be better than the NBA, the actual NBA dunk
100%.
contest.
All I'm trying to do is make them step their game up. That's all I'm trying to do.
It's tough though, bro. Like, think about that though, man. Like, this is my thing. Even if you go back, right? When you go back and you look at old dunk contests, right? So you think about that Jordan brand is based off of him jumping from the free throw line, right? But it wasn't just that, right? It wasn't just that he jumped from the free throw line. It's that it was Jordan doing it. It's just that he was an all-star. And I just think that it would be different. It would be like LeBron jumping from the free throw line. And that's why I think that the NBA, the dunk contest is just recently. It's a little different because a lot of guys that are all-stars aren't also in the dunk contest, so it's not elevated. So even Zach LaVine, while he eventually became an all-star, and the dunk contest helped elevate his name, there are also a lot of guys like Aaron Gordon, who is incredible. He hasn't become an all-star since then. A lot of guys who win it, Diablo, he won the dunk contest, and it's like, all right, well, there's another guy who's a first-year player who just won the dunk contest again. So it doesn't automatically propel you. It gives you that moment to show that you can dunk. But I think that it just the star level, it just isn't there though, bro.
No, I agree, but I'm saying I'm also looking at it from the standpoint of a casual viewer, right?
Yeah.
Who, I think that they want to see more impressive dunks. While I understand what you're saying, the name value does bring attention to the dunk contest.
Yeah,
that's something that Charles and them have been talking about for years. I think we're not saying the same thing, but I think both of the ideas are important.
But I agree.
I think that I think an injection of something more spectacular, the spectacle, the eye test, is something that's needed. And I do think a bigger name is needed as well. Because like if LeBron James was to join the dunk contest, that would be like out of here.
I just think that listen, man, think about this though, right? When Jordan won the dunk contest, he won it. He did a bunch of other dunks that you can see in an NBA game, right? But even when he jumped from the free throw line, you fast forward and you got the evolution of the game. You got Jordan dunked from the free throw line, right? And he made it look fairly easy. Then fast forward, like Zach LaVine is putting it from between his legs and windmilling from the free throw line. It's like, after a while, like how do you just top those? And so for a little stretch, like a windmill, Dominique got into a dunk contest and did like 5 windmills and won it, right? A 360. Then it's like, all right, somebody's 360 and windmilling. Vince Carter did it. Then it was like, oh, you got a 360 windmill and put it between your legs. Oh, you got to throw it up off the backboard, catch it 360. And it's just so many things. And it's just like after a while, dunking in itself is harder than what I think people do. And not just that, it's that even for the folks that dunk very easily, it's just difficult to be a professional dunker and a professional NBA player at the same time, though, bro. And the overlap of that is the dunk contest. And then it's like, well, how great is that person who got all the cool dunks, but also is a great NBA player? It's very few of them, though, man.
I get it. I'm right there with you. Like I said, I think both ideas would inject some life into it. But
people get out there and be like, oh man, that dunk contest was whack. Like any old person could even do anything that they were trying to attempt, though, bro. It's hard, man.
3-point contest. My boy Isaiah Joe got snubbed, bro. You talk about the number 1 3-point player in the league is not in the contest. That's trash.
I listen. I agree. Percentage wise, right? He has the highest percentage, I think. But names though, bro. That's what makes that to me is what makes this 3-point
Okay,
contest.
but have a Cinderella person in there, bro. Like, put that man on a national stage. He deserved the honor of having the highest 3-point percentage. He deserved to be in the contest, bro.
Listen, man.
You take one of them other people out.
Who do you take off, bro?
Tell me the names. Ain't D Lillard on there?
Okay, so you got.
I'll tell you who to take off.
All right, you got. I know exactly who you could take off. Okay, so you got Tyrese Halliburton, who's an all-star.
Okay.
Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Kevin Herter, Dame, Laurie Markkinen, Julius Randle, and Jason Tatum.
Okay, so I don't know who that.
Actually, Julius Randle is being replaced by Anthony Simons from the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I was gonna say Julius Randle could have got swapped.
Right.
Tyler Hero could have got swapped, and there was somebody else you named that I don't even know who that person is.
You know, Laurie Markkinen?
No, not Laurie Markkinen. It's somebody else. It's
Kevin Herter.
Yep.
Okay, so Kevin Herter is probably he's probably like number one, or he's in the top 5 in the NBA for 3-point shooting. Also, I think he's like in top 5 for threes made. But he played for the Hawks, and then they traded him out to the Kings now. So he's one of the reasons why the Kings is kind of doing their thing, though. He can shoot, bro. I'm not gonna even cap.
Yeah. Well, lastly, bro, before we get out of here, man, dude, I went and saw the Ant-Man, bro.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Is it dope?
Okay, so if somebody said, "Nah, bro, we got to have a score from you fresh out the theater."
Fresh out, first take. What you giving?
5 out of 10, bro.
5. So it's worse. It's worse. So you say it's worse than Wonder Woman 84?
No, it's not. But I gave Wonder Woman 84 5.
Okay, so you said it's mid.
It is. But let me shoot it some bell though. First of all, Jonathan Majors, next level.
Okay.
Next level. The story was cool. I understood what they did. I like the tie-in of how they're gonna transit. Like, to me, it is just a transitional movie, and I think that's what it is for me. Meaning that this is the first movie that starts phase 5 from Marvel. Like, this is the next phase. This is where we're moving into the new Avenger movies, where everybody get their solo movie, and then bam, we got an Avengers movie. Mm-hmm. So, and you're introducing the new big baddie. You're introducing the new Thanos, basically. So it felt like that. Like it felt like it was more of a, we need to get you to understand who the next person is so we can set you up for the rest of these movies. So it did the job. The story was cool. It's very, very sci-fi. It's very sci-fi. A lot of the Marvel movies initially used to be very grounded, where you can almost believe it, but now they're getting more into the galactic part of it, more of the fantasy realm element, and so it was a lot of that. So it almost felt like, if you had to compare it to something, it almost felt like Eternals, right? Where Eternals was kind of, but even Eternals had more of a grounded to earth feel.
Yeah.
This one is more galactic. Like it's a lot. It's like
there's a lot of space scenes.
Yeah, it's like Fifth Element meets Guardians of the Galaxy meets Star Wars meets Marvel.
Okay. I am planning to go see it. Hopefully, because we got this long weekend that I can slide out and go see it though. But yeah,
I will say this is what it's gonna be. There are gonna be people that really, really love it. There are gonna be people that be really, really hate it, and then there's gonna be people that's gonna be down the middle, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Now, maybe when I process it over some time, it might get a little doper, but not by much. It might go up to a 6.5, but it was one of those things. Like, I was excited to be in the movie theater. I was excited to see another Marvel movie, but when when it's over, it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Yo, before we get on out of here, one of the things that we got to talk about that we didn't get a chance to discuss, we'll talk about this on Tuesday, because I wanted to get your opinion on one Chris Brown, right? And the question that I have, the underlying question is that is Chris Brown still being canceled and penalized for his brush up with Rihanna and the domestic violence charges from back then? We'll talk about that because we're talking about canceled and also the perspective of him in terms of the Grammy nods, like today, like these recent Grammy nods. Like almost like people saying we still got him on the back burner from since then, and then just trying to figure out, is there an expiration date for cancel? Because Chris Brown, that happened, I believe, when he was 19, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
so
that's the thing, though. Is he canceled or is he paused? So
is
that's
he, that's where I want to. Is he? Are people done with him? Because listen, he's had some songs since then that made some people rock with him heavy. But I think that in the grand scheme of things, my question would be that is Chris Brown being put in a different? Is that he? Because people still rock with him, so apparently he's not completely canceled. But is he paused then? And that's what I want to know. We can get into some of the Pacifics, like some of them country folks say on the Tuesday pod, though, man. What you got going on for the weekend,
bro? Chilling. Deuce has his final game Saturday, so I'm probably gonna pull out the sparklies for that one, just because it's the final game. Other than that, man, just chilling, bro. I got just chilling.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be doing some writing, man. I was very happy that I'm about to master a song that I was just like, finally, I touched up the mix for it, got it done, and I was very happy. So I'm gonna drop that for mastering, and then I got some other songs that I'm hoping to go ahead and finish the last couple of lines to some verses. So I'm pretty hyped though, man. Since we got this long weekend, I think that's what I'm looking to mainly do. It's just use it to finish up some bars though, bro. But that's
what's up.
Yeah. I'm hyped about it too.
Well, look, man, thank y'all for rocking with your boys. Join us Tuesday at 6:00 Central Standard Time, and we will see y'all on the next one, bro.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?